If House Republicans can successfully slash Medicaid funding gained under the Affordable Care Act, then roughly $500 million in Medicaid funding could be in jeopardy for the Virgin Islands. And according to Delegate Donna Christensen, the fact that the Virgin Islands hasn't spent or matched any of its $49 million in Medicaid funding isn't convincing House Republicans that the funding is crucial.
This is their proposal to rescind the funding for the territories, for all of the territories, for the rest of the 9 years that we were going to spend it for. And for me to have to be able to defend that funding when the Virgin Islands had not spent any was a very difficult position to be in.
Difficulty has spread to all U.S. territories who collectively could lose the $6.3 billion increase in Medicaid funding that was passed 2 years ago by Congress. House Republicans are proposing a budget that would cut $96.76 billion over the next decade. And that means repealing Section 1204 of the Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act of 2010. It would be a devastating blow, according to the delegate, to those living on low incomes.
In the territory, Medicaid is the health insurance for people who are at or below poverty level. And you know the poverty level is, well, it's close to 30% in the territory.
If the proposed budget in Medicaid funding is passed, the result would be an overall 65% decrease in Medicaid funding for U.S. territories. The delegate expects that when Congress meets next week, the House will pass the bill with the cuts in Medicaid funding. But she doesn't think it will get much further.
We have the full support of the Democratic caucus. We have groups lining up to support us, and it's not going to be a slam dunk as they think.
But even with congressional support, Delegate Donna Christensen says she's still concerned that the bill will come up during a lame duck session, and much will depend on which party is in the majority. For News 2, I'm Allison Bourne-Vanek.